Good day, everyone. Meteorologist Mark Molnar here. How's everybody getting along? I hope everybody had a good weekend. We're heading into the new week, first week of spring, essentially, here. And yeah, we'll be dealing with a ridge here across the east. Now, look around the 25th here. Yeah, we're going to be dealing with some sort of storm here entering the upper Midwest, parts of the Ohio Valley. It's got quite a bit of energy. We're going to go over and see how much storminess that could produce. And look at that. That gives way to a bigger wave. Look at this. Yeah, could this bring down some cold air and some wintry precipitation into parts of the Great Lakes added to the Northeast Ohio Valley? We'll take a look at that. It looks like a pretty vigorous trough moving through there. That's right around the 28th, 29th, 30th, exiting off the coast. And then another ridge builds in. This is the last snapshot here, March 31st. Yeah, it's showing pretty much a ridge across the east and a trough out west. Is this pattern going to break anytime soon? Well, let's see if we get into April here, just what we're looking at. And just a precursor here, this is what I'm going to be showing you later on in the video here. European model, so far the only model really catching on to this. Take it with a grain of salt, though, because you know what? This is 186 to 192 hours out. This is what the European is going crazy with, a big coastal low that could potentially affect parts of New England. But as I said, we have plenty of time to watch this. And versing that with the GFS here, take a look at this. The GFS surface map, yeah, it's showing some sort of interior low just inland along the I-95 corridor, right around the 28th, 29th, and 30th. So, yeah, I mean, this is a bit far out, but it's interesting that both models are showing some big storm here in the parts of the Northeast. So here we go, taking a look at the 500 millibar height anomalies, taking a look at what's going on upstairs so we can figure out what's going on downstairs. So there's that big Firecracker ridge building, at least for this week here, late week across the east. You can see it's really kicking to the east here. But let's see how that, translates into the weekend and the next week. We start to see, there it is. You knew this was coming. There's some troughiness that's trying to kick, erode some of this Firecracker ridge as it pushes to the east. This is by Sunday the 26th, and that it basically kicks enough of this ridge southward here that you start to get, this next system here that may actually be able to break this down a little bit tougher here. This is what we're talking about right around the 29th, Wednesday, March 29th. We could be looking at some sort of East Coast storm here, so please stay tuned. Nothing is set in stone yet, but it's really interesting that we're seeing kind of this pattern that's like, wow, there it is. It's showing up here very prominently, 29th into the 30th and riding up there into the Canadian Maritimes. Now, I wanted to show you briefly here the GFS on the 500 millibar, showing the similar pattern. We're eroding that first ridge here into the northeast, so that Firecracker ridge breaking down. But the GFS disagrees with the strength of this next ridge here across the east and then this next trough. You can see the ridge builds pretty prominently here across the east on the GFS by the 27th and 28th. So much so that the next system that rides in is nowhere near as strong here by the 28th and 29th. All right, so taking a look at your HRRR, your future radar, I'm just going to briefly show you out west here. Yeah, this is going to be this big storm that's blasting California again into the Rocky Mountains. Look at that. That's going to be pinwheeling down the coast. You can see the low pressure just south of San Francisco by 11 a.m. Wednesday morning. Lots of snow and energy going across the Continental Divide here into the Rocky Mountains. And look at this back east. We're not going to start to get into strong to severe thunderstorms down into parts of the southeast here until later Thursday into Friday. So that's what we're going to look for. This is your next 48 hours. We're going to take you through midday Thursday. So here it is, Wednesday, 11 a.m. You start to see some shower activity in parts of Ohio here. So as we continue to go out in time, your rain starts to move in just after or just around or after your evening rush here into Cleveland. So yeah, look at how you get some heavier showers and even some thunder showers towards midnight Wednesday night here into Thursday morning. Look at this. This is along a frontal boundary that's going to be extending. You can practically see it here. There's basically a stationary front, and there's going to be some pulses of energy that ride along it here. So we're going to see some heavier showers and thunder showers, and some of these could actually put out some rainfall, heavier rainfall, and we could end up seeing up to an inch this two-day event here into parts of the Northeast. Look at that, 5 a.m. Harrisburg, Thursday morning. Look at that. Heavier showers, embedded thunder showers as well. That continues back towards Cleveland and Toledo. So yeah, you could be looking at, and look at this. This could be a pretty decent line of convection showers and thunderstorms moving through Detroit. This is 9 a.m. Thursday, and that's going to continue to progress eastward as we head throughout the day. Look at that. Noon on Thursday, heavier gully washers lining up from Northeast Ohio, Cleveland, all the way over to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Look at that. And that pivots towards the east, towards New York City and New Jersey and southeastern Pennsylvania by 2 p.m. on Thursday. All right, so take a look at the GFS here. Yeah, here we go. So taking a look at this, we're taking us through our, storm. Let's just back it up here. This is Friday. So we still have this frontal boundary draped across the Ohio Valley into parts of the Northeast, and we start to get pretty real here with the strong to severe thunderstorms. Now, the business scale models don't go out this far, but there's going to be an area of strong to severe thunderstorms somewhere in this area on later Thursday and then heading east into Friday. So yeah, we're going to watch this, take a look at this. So let's back up and then we'll just see. Here it is along the Mississippi River Valley, 8 p.m. So there's some strong line of convection here showing up on the GFS, and that plows eastward throughout the night. So we're going to have some nocturnal thunderstorms, damaging wind, large hail, potential for tornado activity. We're going to see some strong thunderstorm activity all the way up into parts of the Ohio Valley as well. Look at this. This is 11 a.m. Friday, though. Or Saturday. So let's just back that up a second. That went pretty fast through Friday. Here we go. So, yeah, this is a pretty fast-moving system. It's easy to see how it's like a runaway train here. Here it is. 5 a.m., 8 p.m., 5 p.m., 8 p.m., 11 p.m., Friday. So actually, in most respects here, you're staying dry into parts of the Northeast for your Friday. So because you're north of the frontal boundary, the cooler air will set in. But look at this as we head to Saturday morning. We may see a brief period of frozen precipitation here northeast of Binghamton and Scranton. So keep an eye on that, but I don't expect that to be anything major. No major wintry weather. And that moves into, take a look at that. There's 11 a.m. Saturday, the 25th. Yeah, we could be dealing with some interior wintry weather, mainly a wintry mix from Concord on northeastward here, Montpelier up to Burlington and northeastward. Maine, yeah, you're going to start as all snow here, but as we head to southern New England here, we're going to stay all rain, of course. Yeah, that's been your rule all winter long. Definitely not going to change anytime soon, and you can see some wraparound on the back edge of that on Sunday. And look at that. We had another system here on the 27th. Here it is, 2 p.m. So that's heading on into the 27th, Monday. Just some light potential for accumulations. And as we continue to head throughout the week, let's see if the GFS picks up on any of that storminess that the European model was picking up on the upper level pattern. It is. Here it is. But once again, it's showing interior wintry precipitation interior sections and an all rain event in most of the Northeast. And there it is, just kind of kicking to the east here. We'll go a little bit into April here. You can see, yeah, it's pretty apparent that the low pressure track is just like this, like it's been all winter long. So let's take you through the European model here. We'll see how that matches up with the rest of our models. This model always usually has the final say. It will bounce back and forth. I know a lot of you criticize this one as well because it has been pretty inconsistent, days 5 through 7 out. But then by the last day, it always comes around to the final solution, which usually is right. So yeah, this is the game this model plays. You can see this is Friday. So let's just back this up a few frames. We'll take you through that convection there into parts of the Ohio Valley and Northeast. You can see it's showing up pretty prominently here onto the European model. We have that frontal boundary here across the Ohio Valley into Pennsylvania. I'll show you those rainfall amounts momentarily here, but there it is. Front kind of pushing through, sagging south here towards Friday. And look at that. It comes back to the north here. But here's that severe weather in Texas. It's going to continue east. This is Friday morning, so the European is a little bit slower with the thunderstorm activity here, but then starts to move it a bit quicker here. So this is late Friday. You can see the thunderstorms getting just east of the Mississippi River by this point. Maybe some wintry precipitation on the backside. We do have a cold high here in the Northeast, so that's why some areas will start potentially here on the European, Binghamton, New York, Northeast Pennsylvania, the Catskills, Poconos, maybe a period of wet snow early Saturday morning. That won't stick around, though. That's going to really change over to rain in most areas. And, most of the accumulating snow is going to be in northern Vermont, New Hampshire, and into Maine here. So that's going to be the trouble spot for wintry weather with a retreating high like that. This low pressure is pretty strong. It's going to bring those southwesterly winds in. And you know what? Right around, Saturday, let's just back it up here. I wanted to show you this one frame here as this front's trying to move through. There's some convection that might fire up along this, the first low pressure here back through. While we start to have a secondary low development here, we might have some convection, some thunderstorms up here in upstate New York into Pennsylvania. So watch out for that. This secondary low, it kind of is there, but it's not really getting going very well. And as we pull those away, you start to see the pattern here. Severe weather breaking out. Now, there's some sort of low pressure here. It's not showing up here on the Euro. This is Monday morning, really early in the morning. So I think we'll have some sort of system bouncing around here. But you can see it kind of lifts up towards the Ohio Valley here. So we see some light precipitation kicking in. And we continue to see these rounds of strong to severe thunderstorms. So this is not going to be a very good severe weather season if you're not. Oh, here we go. Look at this. Let's back this up here. Europeans showing something. This is that area right around Wednesday the 29th. So Euro's picking up on a potential low, coastal low, and bringing it a little bit to the north here with some snow. Wednesday the 29th. Kicking in here. So, wow, look at yeah, right now, being this far out, please take this with a grain of salt, but look at this, 984 millibar low, lots of snow, wind, potential blizzard conditions. I do want to caution you out, though, this is literally, look at this is 192 hours out. This is definitely subject to change, and then that pulls away as we head into the 31st, and there it is. Severe weather again across the southeast. All right, so Thursday, this is your thunderstorm outlook. Yeah, generalized thunderstorm here into the light green, so we're not looking at anything severe into the light green, but it's the slight, and then you get into this yellow shading in north central Texas, parts of western Texas. Slight risk for severe thunderstorms, yeah. This is going to start to get cranking earlier in the day on late Wednesday, early Thursday. And then here it is for Friday. This is going to start here Friday morning across the Mississippi River Valley. And then it's going to race eastward. So it's pretty remarkable on day 4 that we already have a severe outlook for western Tennessee all the way down to Louisiana. This could be a pretty big tornado, severe weather, a damaging wind, large hail outbreak. So as we take a look at total liquid equivalent precipitation, we'll just take us through, there we go, the first surge of this storm. You can see most of the precipitation is going to be from eastern Oklahoma, northern Arkansas, and then up into the Ohio Valley. This is where you could see 2 to as much as 4 inches of rain. Another inch in this area. I think Pennsylvania, parts of Pennsylvania will see a little bit higher than this, a quarter to a half inch. Binghamton on northeast, we're definitely a quarter to a half an inch. Through the first surge here. Out west, too, you're getting some heavier precipitation. But look at the second surge as we head into the weekend, Saturday into Sunday. There it is. We blossom this northeastward, so the second surge is going to be heavier for parts of the northeast. Look at that. We're still seeing a rain shadow here in the parts of the northeast. Let's zoom in. So here we go. There's the first system. This is late Friday. So there it is. Look at that. The first surge, you're already getting to an inch there in the Cleveland area, 3/4 of an inch there in Pittsburgh, and almost an inch in Erie. Places from Buffalo, State College, Williamsport, Wilkes-Barre, Scranton, northeastward here, you're generally a quarter to a third of an inch mostly. And there's that rain shadow there again across parts of the northeast. And then we bring in the second surge on top of that. Look at that. Yeah, so, between the two surges, you're getting, an inch in this area. But, my concern is you're going to be bringing a lot of moisture into parts of Ohio here, where we've already had tremendous amounts of moisture. Look at that. Cleveland, southward, eastward, westward here. We could be looking at 2.5 to 3 inches of liquid equivalent. So what's the total snowfall out of this? So the first surge here across the northeast, this is, let's just take it through Saturday here. So yeah, Saturday morning, there it is. You get maybe a slushy accumulation up to an inch here in the southern tier of New York, northern Pennsylvania, into the Catskills, Poconos. But as we head throughout the day Saturday, we add on top that we could be looking at a winter storm here, as I said before, especially the mountains of northern New Hampshire, Vermont, and especially Maine here. Interior Maine's going to see that warning criteria snowfall. And as we head into next week, we add a little bit on top that as we go in time. And as we take a look at your national snowfall map here it is. It's pretty void of snowfall across the east unless you get into New England there. And the plains, you'll be piling up the snowfall as well, but the big story is out west here. Look at that. The mountains just continue up into parts of the plains. And here we go. John has some photos here from Pennines and M60. Manchester Ring Motorway, 15th of March, 2023, Manchester, UK. Look at that, 3 degrees Celsius, a little chilly, but there it is. Looking pretty good across the area. You can see he snapped some good shots. It looks a bit overcast as well. So yeah, they recently had some, wintry weather. And look at that. That looks like a beautiful sunset across the area. Nice captures there, John. Getting out there and enjoying it. Hello, tropics from the Central Caribbean, Central America, Gulf of Mexico, across all of the Caribbean islands, Lesser Antilles. Hello. How's it going, everybody? Continue to enjoy that weather because before you know it, tropical season is going to be here. Everything looks like smooth sailing, at least for the next 2 weeks. All right, so my Western Pacific viewers here. How's everybody doing in the Western Pacific? From the Philippines, China, all the way up to Japan. Yeah, it's been pretty quiet. All the way over to Vietnam. Look at this. This takes us through the 28th, 29th. Can we get through March here without any rain in the Philippines? Well, we're going to see some scattered showers by the 29th. But you know what? You've been having a run of very beautiful weather here in the Philippines. I know most of you in the Philippines haven't even had to watch me because it's been so wonderfully nice. That's all right. I won't take offense to that. That's actually a good thing. But the day is going to change when, the intertropical convergence zone is going to lift back north here. Still up here in Japan, your season is not here yet, obviously. You're seeing these mid-latitude systems. Your cherry blossom season is beautiful here, starting to really blossom across Japan. Get out there and enjoy it. I'm kind of jealous. I wish I could get over there and enjoy it with you. But here we go. Look at this. Vietnam, China, it's clear as a bell. Let's go through the end here into April 2nd, April 3rd. Yeah, you're starting to get the idea here. You get some scattered showers and thunder showers, but for the most part, look at that. By April 3rd, you're quiet. But I wanted to leave you with this last frame because this is a bit ominous. We're starting to see some tropical waves out here. And some of these could, be a precursor of things to come here. So let's take a look at temperature trends here. Here it is Thursday. Here you can see later in the day, we're getting, wow. Yeah, you can see the surge of warmth here across the plains, 70s and then 80s across Texas and South Kansas southward. Look at this into the Northeast. We're eroding that cold air. And as we head throughout the rest of the week, you can see by, Thursday, there's your highs Thursday. You can see where the frontal boundary is set up here. It's pretty clear, this big baroclinic zone. To the north of it, you'll be stuck into the, 40s, and south of it, 60s and 70s. Look at that. And then we start to see that front move to the south a little bit. There it is. Bleeding down that cold air north of it. Setting us up, for Friday. A little bit cooler across the Ohio Valley Northeast. But look at that. It's 50s, 40s, and 50s. That's still pretty warm. Cleveland, you're kind of stuck around 37, 38 in Rochester. So yeah, here it is. We'll start to see, the temperature differences strengthen here. So this low pressure is going to move just west of the Mississippi and Ohio River valleys. Get some cold air in the Northeast. That's going to start you out as wet snow Saturday morning in parts of upstate New York and northern Pennsylvania. But that's quickly going to erode. Look at this. This is later in the day Saturday. 68 there in Pittsburgh and soaring to 60 there in places like Cleveland and Buffalo. Look at that with that big surge. You're still holding on to cold air there across parts of New England. And look at that. We pivot towards Sunday and we warm it up again across the Ohio Valley into parts of the Northeast. Northern New England staying cold enough there for snow, especially the higher elevations. But there it is Monday. We warm it up a bit. We're kind of cooling it down here into parts of Texas there for your Tuesday. Still pretty warm here in the parts of Florida as well, especially South Florida. There, look at that. We'll back it up there. Look at that. That is approaching, that's the lower 90s here in the parts of Florida. That is crazy. So we're really bubbling up the heat here. But you can see here we're eroding it back here in the parts of the southern plains. We're pushing that heat to the east, essentially. There's your lows Wednesday, the 29th. So this is why we're a little concerned. Any low pressure, especially higher elevations, could tap into some wet snowflakes. But, you know, that quickly warms up there next Wednesday, the 29th here. Massive surge of warm air. You can see cold air, though, kind of pooling here across parts of the Northeast. And look at that. Your overnight lows for next Thursday, the 30th. Yeah, if there's a storm in this vicinity, according to the European model, we could be looking at some interior snow. But look at that. It quickly warms up pretty fast. So, you know, this time of year, you can have snow one day, and then it can get to 60 the next. Extended outlook from hometown viewers, Binghamton to Scranton's Upper Susquehanna River Valley. Look at this. Wednesday, another beautiful day. We'll start morning clouds, PM sun, 62 degrees. Yeah, definitely feeling like spring into Thursday as well. Well, showers will kick in up to a quarter inch, mostly an all-day rain event, you know, scattered about. Friday, we'll kick some AM showers. You know, it'll kind of cloudy the rest of the day, 49 degrees, another quarter inch in the early morning hours. But Saturday, we may start out as a brief period of wet snow, less than an inch. We're heading up towards 44, though, so it'll be rain in the afternoon, probably up to a quarter to half an inch of rain. And then Sunday, scattered showers, less than a tenth of an inch, windy conditions up to 50. Thanks for joining me for this edition of MeteoMark's Weather Northeastern and Weather Eastern. Don't forget Facebook MeteoMark, Weather Northeastern, also Hurricane Northeastern, at Susquehanna Weather for my local page. And guess what? MeteoMark.com, WeatherNortheastern.com is Twitter, at Weather Eastern. Don't forget, question or comment down below. Smash that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell button, share the video, and thanks for joining me.